Sup nerds, today we have Ruin Mode Turbo versus Bloom. Todd starts off by hatching Kokomon, evoing into Lalamon, playing Training, searching top 2, adding a Sunflower. I hatch Koro, evo into Agu for 0. Play Ilamimbu, scourge top 4. Add the Geo, bot deck the rest, put Ruin Mode on top. Todd's turn at 1. Alright, Todd stays in the back and plays Mimi, sets me to 3. I stay in raising as well. Evo into Geo for 2. And I play Marcus for 4 to set him to his 3. Alright, he does promote. Pops the Training, evos into Sunflower, triggers Sunflower's effect, suspends itself, plays Palmon, triggers Palmon's effect, scorches top 4, adds Pal X and Bloom. Alright, he draws off the Kokomon. Evos into Grand Gale for 2. Triggers the Grand Gale effect to suspend the Palmon. Now he's immune from Digimon effects until the end of my turn, which is unfortunate for me. And we do have our first Chet here. Todd does not draw off the Sunflowermon. He taps Mimi and hatches. Evo's into Lala. We were talking back and forth here, so don't blame him for being distracted and not drawing off that. Evo's into Bloom for 4. Triggers Bloom's effect, gains 2 memory, and unsuspends. And my turn at 1. I promote. I don't have an ideal setup here, but if I let Todd start his turn with 3 memory and a body coming out of raising, I probably just die on his turn. So I pop the boost, go to 3. Evo into Rise for 3. No effect on Rise, sadly. Then Evo into Shine for 4. Trigger Shine's effect, suspend the Marcus. I go ahead and minus the 4k on the Palmon, draw 2 off my inheritables, and then trigger Marcus effect to evo into Ruin Mode for free, and minus 5k on his field until the end of his turn. So he can't promote unless he wants that Lala to die, and now his Bloom is only 7k on his turn. So even if he can out my Ruin Mode here, I don't just die here, which was the goal. This is an unfortunate matchup for Bloomlord, because most of their guys besides their Megas are tiny. He plays Mimi, gets his Scourge on, adds the Agitar, bot decks the rest. So Todd swings at my security, which is wild to me because he's only 7k, especially considering what his follow-up was going to be. And he does survive, never punished, checks a memory boost though. And then Evo's into Quartz for 6 memory and suspends everything, and nothing can unsuspend besides Quartz. He gains 2 memory back and sets me to 3. I hatch Koro. Evo into Agu. There's no reason to pay for Marcus since he's suspended already. I pop the boost, go to 5. Play Marcus for 4. And hard play Burst Mode Ace for 8 memory. Play Marcus. Effective Burst Mode minus Quartz Bomb by the 15k. It's going to die. And then I trigger Marcus to suspend itself. Minus him by another 3k even though he's already dead. And I do that just so I can draw 2 cards off my inheritables. And then his turn at 7. He promotes. I really didn't want to give him 7 memory, but I needed to get that Quartzmon off the field. And he still has to deal with my Ruin Mode somehow. Evo's into Togemon for 2. Evo's into Agitar for 2 memory. Suspends Mimi, hatches again. Evo's into Palmon and raising. Suspends Agitar. Plays Pal X for free. Suspends my Burst Mode Ace. Draws off the Coco. Taps Mimi to gain a memory. Evo's into Sunflower for 2. Triggers Sunflower's effect. Suspends itself. Plays Palmon. Evo's into Bloom for 3. Triggers Bloom. Suspends Palmon. Gains 3 memory back. Unsuspends. Gains 1 off Agitar. Thankfully his Bloom is not big enough to swing over either one of my guys. When he swings he's going to be 14k for 2 checks. Alright, swing security, 14k, 2 checks. Checks a Marcus. I tap the Marcus, minus 3k on the Sunflower and gain a memory. Removing one of his bodies is really good for me, and having memory setter is pretty dope. He plays a Training, scratches top 2. Adds the Agitar. And then hard slams Zephiga Ace, which is pretty brutal. He gets to bot deck both of my guys. And then I lose 5 from Overflow to set me to 3. Alright. I draw for turn. I promote. I gain 1 off of the Marcus, and then think on my Marcuses from BT12. Thankfully, I don't really have to worry about an ace coming down besides Paladin mode. Just got to crunch some numbers and do some math. So I pay for 1 Marcus. Evo and a Geo for 2. I swing security, trigger Koro, draw, trigger Agu, minus 2k on the Zephiga Ace, trigger Marcus, Evo into Rise for free, trigger Rise effect. I treat my BT13 Marcus as a 3k Digimon with Alliance for the turn, and then we enter counter timing and blocker timing. In hindsight, I should have tried to swing over the Palmon. I don't want to get blown up by a security option here. He does block, and then ShineGreymon recovers the Marcus. I Evo into Rise X for 1, trigger Rise X effect. Can't play a Tamer, minus the Zephiga by another 6k. Evo into Shine for 3 and delete the Zephiga Ace, and Todd loses 4 from Ace Overflow. And at this point, I want to swing with my Marcus, but I'm afraid of getting blown up by a security option, like I said. What I should do here is actually swing into the Palmon, and then I gain the memory, minus 3k on the Palmon, and then the attack just fizzles, and it would just give me an extra memory. And I get to draw a card off the Geo Gray Inheritable. I choose not to because I don't see that line. I swing security, trigger Shine's effect, suspend Marcus to give him 3k and a security attack +1 until the end of the turn. Trigger Marcus effect. Evo into Ruin mode, minus 5k on his field, 18k for 2 checks. We do survive, end of attack, delete himself, delete Bloom, recover, and hatch. And now Todd's field is minus 10k until the end of his turn. I Evo into Agu and Raising. I guess we have another Chet here because I should have drawn off my Geo Gray Inherit. And then I Evo into Geo, and then Todd goes with 3 from Mimi. See, if I had another memory here, I could have Evo that Geo and then done something else to pass turn. Todd stays in Raising because he has to. Evo's into Sunflower for 2. And plays a Mimi, Skirches, adds the Sunflower, bot decks the rest, and then my turn at 3. Alright, I promote. I gain a memory from the Geo, pay it back for Marcus. I swing security with Marcus, trigger Core to draw, trigger Marcus, Evo into Rise, trigger Rise, play Marcus, 6k effective for 1 check. I do die, Rise recovers the Marcus into security. Evo into Shine for 3 memory. Swing security with Shine, suspend Marcus, draw off the Geo Inherit. I don't actually have another level 7 to go into, so it's just 15k for 2 checks. I do survive, and then I hard slam Rise for game. Rise treats one of my Marcuses as a 3k Digimon with Alliance, and then I can declare an attack with one of my Digimon. It also gives them Rush if that matters, and I just swing for game with the Marcus. So we do take game 1. By the way, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And if you're interested in my Ruin Mode Turbo deck profile, link for that will be in the pinned comment below. And if you're interested in early access to videos as well as other channel perks, consider becoming a channel member. The join button would be a subscribe button used to be if you're already subscribed. Todd chooses to go first for game 2. Hatches, Evo's in a Lala. Plays Mimi, Skirches top 3. He adds Togemon. My turn at 3. I hatch Koro. Evo into Agu for 0. Evo into Geo for 2. And then play Yellow Memboost for 3. Scourge top 4. I add the Shine and set out to 2. He promotes. Evo's into Toga for 2. Plays Mimi, uses Toga's effect to suspend and reduce it by 3 memory. Taps Mimi to gain a memory, draws a card off the Kokomon. He Evos into Blossom for 2 because of the Lala, and my turn at 2. I promote, pop the boost, go to 4, play Marcus for 4. I Evo into Rise for 3, trigger Rise effect, gives Marcus Rush, treats as a 3k Digimon, and has Alliance. And then I can declare an attack. I declare an attack. I swing security with Marcus, draw 3 cards off my inheritables, trigger Marcus effect, Evo into Shine for free, Shine blows up the Blossom, and then I Alliance. So it's 15k for 2 checks. Survive both, and then Todd's turn at 3. He hatches Coco, Evo's into Pal, plays Agility Training, Skirches, adds Bloom, and then Evo's into Pal X. And he was in a Sunflower, chokes me to 1. I hatch Koro. Evo into Agu for 0. Swing Security, triggers Shine's effect. Suspend Marcus, gain 3k and Security Tech +1 to the end of the turn. Draw 3 cards off my Inheritables. Trigger Marcus. Evo into Rune Mode for free. 18k for 2 checks. Survive, end of attack, delete himself for cover. Todd's minus 10k on his field until the end of his turn. GLHF. And his Evo into Geo and Raising, and Todd's turn at 3. And unless Todd is playing removal options, I have guaranteed lethal on my turn because I just promote, pay for Marcus, and then swing. So Todd does scoop, and we do take the match 2-0, but I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content. I want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.